Good morning, everybody. Call this meeting to order. Kelsey, if I can get you to do the roll call, please. Appreciate it.
Okay, Nick Saunders,
That's
Chad Richards,
I'm here.
Sue Carlton,
Present.
Kevin Eccles,
Town report.
Shirley Cavini.
Present.
She said it was. Note it down. Andrew Maximoff. Perfect. Kenneth Craig,
well done.
Sean Murray,
Yes.
Jay Kirkland, Beverly Wilkins,
Present.
and Helen Claire Taylor.
Can you see me and hear me?
We
Yeah.
can.
Thank you.
Before I start off this morning, going through the agenda and stuff, just like to recognize that we're on the traditional lands of my ancestors, otherwise known as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, and that we meet here within our traditional territory. And I am very thankful to sit here with everybody that's around this table. And that I hold this eagle feather and think about the 7 grandfather teachings, and that we think with an open heart and keep our minds open. We speak with the truth. We have respect and love for one another. And that, we have some important work here to do. And I want to set this meeting off in a good way. It's going to be a long day for all of us. And I just want to make sure that everybody is thinking clearly and with an open heart and open mind. With that, I will see if there's any amendments to the agenda. Hearing none. Can I get an approval for the agenda? Ms. Bev and Kevin, thank you.
Did I just, I'm gonna have to start at 10:30 and then I'll be back at 12:05.
Okay.
Out of order? Can we vote on that motion?
I'll in favor.
All in favor, we vote on that? We're not. We're still flipping up here.
On to the factory.
Disclosure of, disclosure of pecuniary interest. If there is any or may arise, make a note of that, point it out to me. And the adoption of the minutes. No. All I've got is too many pages in front of me. The adoption of the minutes for Friday, January 24th. Friday, January 24th, organization, and Wednesday, February 12th by the executive committee. Recommendation is that the minutes be approved by the Board of Health as presented. Does everybody have a chance to read them? Yeah.
Question, please.
Yep.
Through you, Chair. Orientation was in closed session.
Okay.
So you can't approve through the municipal act, you can't approve minutes of a closed session in an open session.
There's 2 minutes, one for the open and one for the closed. It started as open, so in the package, it should be the closed minutes as well. So these are just the open minutes.
I have a mover for that. That's very,
Sure.
Shirley, we'll move it. And I'm sorry,
Dawn.
Don will second it. Everybody in favor? And remember that part this time, everybody is invited. Other business. At this point in time, I am actually going to step out of the room. I'm going to ask, Bev, if you could chair or somebody else can chair this part of the meeting. There's a letter that I have written. And I think that it needs to be addressed. And, I do this on your respect of all my colleagues that are sitting here at the table. So I will leave it up to you, Dr. if that's all right. That, somebody has to chair this part of the meeting, just for a second. Usually the vice chair or, oh, sorry.
Vice.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be more appropriate, likely.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the honor.
Yeah.
Cal.
We should probably all read that, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
At least that would be so kind, we can print,
You'll have to send me a copy.
oh, I just have a visit.
Okay.
That way, sorry.
And now we have to scan. Yes, Helen Fair won't have a copy, so we'll need to scan for her. So technically, when we approve the agenda, we should have added that item to the agenda.
Mr. Chair, being new to the board, how has this been handled before? Like, what is the process here? Nobody's had a chance to read this letter until now, so should it be in camera that it's not already added to the package?
Does anyone know what the letter is?
The letters about.
No.
So,
Okay.
I agree. Don't know.
thank you.
And is it something that should have been in camera later in the meeting? We don't know.
Depends on the nature, if it's a identifiable individual.
Yeah, I know.
But is it new business or is it?
Don't
Yeah,
know.
it should have been added to the agenda.
Yeah, adding that one.
You mentioned this, it's the, related to the executive committee. Recommendations.
It's really,
It's the item we're on, we're setting.
So there was nothing from those, if I may,
yeah, absolutely.
through the chair, there was nothing in the executive committee minutes that were deemed to be, worthy of going in camera for. So, unless there's personal information about an identifiable individual, but if it is a personal recommendation or comment regarding the process or something, that in and of itself is not worthy of closed session. So, with your guidance, Mr. Chair, to have a boo at it, and if there is someone who feels that it should be in camera, then we can make that amendment. But otherwise, if it is, as Dr. commented regarding the recommendations from the executive committee, then we should leave it in open.
So when Calissa comes back with that letter, should we maybe turn to Chad to read that to determine where it should be first.
Yeah, but you didn't admit to go in camera. That's fine.
or we read it and don't say anything about it and let the chair, like, rather than the chair reading it and then us sitting here.
We all read together.
Just refrain, to refrain from debate until you make a decision regarding its
I
appropriate.
think that's a good platform, given that we, the nature of the letter.
Any question that's gonna be in there.
Just there.
This close.
I walked through 60 cows out on the hill this morning at 5 o'clock. I didn't put my heavy coveralls on, it was chilly enough. By the time I get back, you couldn't walk fast enough to start the sweat. Yeah,
Oh, well.
nobody had a cow, so they weren't chasing me around.
How many years have you sat there? Yeah, how many years have you been on there?
I seem to do that still.
Oh, in terms of your clouds.
Wow. Yep.
That's not.
Okay, all right.
You know, the Uber boys over at Aiken, American Crows.
Thank you, Doug.
Where did you run?
Oh.
I was there like another cow herd.
Down this side.
Good.
Here's Castle.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to maybe sign the deed, I think you're fine, right? Okay.
Does anyone not have a copy?
They're doing a good job.
No,
We have a scan for how to.
Yeah,
Okay.
just send an
There are two extras here in the center of the table, in case we have to know where those are.
Just short.
And. If we was here, you could have. It's not broken.
Yeah.
That's it, you're. I mean, civilians. No, first, I don't say. Do something. I think we can. And then. Shares, words.
Okay. The direction. The conversation that I just had with Dr. Ara. Is
can
it?
you speak up, Chad? please?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, the consultation, I just like what Dr. Ara suggested, we can take the letter as read in public session, and I would entertain a motion to go in camera to deal with the contents of the letter.
We'll make the motion only to provoke, provide ability for conversation regarding it, if you don't mind.
Perfect. Right, and
For sure, peacemaking.
second by Deb, all in favor?
So this item really has nothing to do with the recommendations from the, it is a different set of policies and direction from the board. So I believe that this is it doesn't affect the conversation in open session, but it certainly affects the board relations and some of the policies we deal with internally. So I do agree that we need to be in closed session of this.
That's. So moved by Ken, seconded by, sorry, go ahead.
If I may add, just to be completely clear, I think any discussion or decision about this should be in camera.
Yeah.
Any discussion or decision, but if the chair was here and he said his opinion about what he experienced and related to this session, I don't think we can deny him not to say it. So what he requested is somebody reads his letter out of respect. He doesn't want to read it himself. Again, I want to be, we don't want somebody, the ombudsman office, to say, why did you go into this? That's his opinion. It could have been opinion on the public matter, just to be cognizant of this. If he was sitting in the chair, he would have read it. And he requested that somebody reads it on his behalf. Then how the board deals with it, I believe, should be in camera based on some of the content.
If I may, there are some. This is not a general letter. This is some pointed statements about particular people. With respect, Dr. Ara, I agree that the tone and the nature of the letter needs to be read, but it would be totally inappropriate, I believe, to make specific comments about specific people in open session. So there would need to be some smoothing out or direction from the board about how this is presented. I don't think that if it was an internal nature, staff member to staff member, we would not read that in open session. And I don't believe it would be appropriate to do that without some board concurrence that we would direct within closed session. I'm not opposed if the board decides to read it in open, that's fine, that's okay. But I don't think that just right now we're ready to do that.
Ellen Claire.
Thank you. So I just need to say how disappointing it is to see this. To the issue, 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph identifies information that was just presented as part of the minutes. So I don't see any issue with that being read in an open session. I think it would be disrespectful to the chair, in particular, due to the subject matter, that this be taken into closed, which might reasonably be considered to be trying to hide this. So I would suggest that this letter be read in open in its entirety, and it can be spoken to by the identified individuals who were at the meeting. If the board doesn't agree with that, then I would suggest the letter be read in its entirety with the exception of the third paragraph, which does not bring up anything that has already been covered by the minutes. We have a duty to transparency. That is the default. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Ken?
Through you, Mr. Chair, with respect to our board member's opinion, one of the reasons to go into closed is not just litigation, but potential litigation. And if there is the potential of that, I believe, though I appreciate the desire to be transparent, there's also a duty to protect both and all parties within our board. So I will remain firm in my recommendation that we address this in closed, make a determination, and then come from there.
And you had moved that we now go into closed session.
Yeah, really, the motion remains that we go into closed.
And
Gladly.
we'll call that. So moved by Ken, second by that we now go into closed session to discuss this. All in favor? Okay, so we give a second to move into closed session. Just before that motion, I just wanted to declare that the Board of Health went into a closed session to discuss here related to correspondence received at the board, paper correspondence received at the board meeting, and discuss that matter.
Yep, and then I would make a motion for an open session to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
by Claire. The motion is that we adjourn. All in favor? Opposed?